السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اليوم أول درس أو أول lecture ممكن إنه ناخذه as online بالنسبة للمرحلة الثالثة ل Undergraduate Studies لقسم الفيزياء. اليوم إن شاء الله راح نبدي هذه المحاضرة. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى إنه تقصر الفترة اللي إحنا تكون موجود بيها حتى نستكمل منهاجنا الدراسي لمادة الإنجليزي. سبق وأخذنا الكورس expectations of course benefits، لأنه إحنا مو هذه المحاضرة الأولى، سبق وإنه كانت محاضرات سابقة وهذه مجرد استكمال، لكن ممكن إنه نعيد expectations of course benefit. What do you expect to get from the course? Advanced understanding of English as a second language, acquire the skill of identifying some scientific vocabularies, able to write and compare among tenses, gain the skill to present and speak with the classmates, and learn to work as a teamwork. وبالشكل العام إذا إنه إن شاء الله خلصنا ممكن إنه حصلنا من هذه الفوائد خلال هذا الكورس، فنكون إحنا أنجزنا جزء خلال المرحلة الدراسية في العام الأكاديمي. طيب، كمراجعة للمحاضرات السابقة، المحاضرة السابقة كانت is about we were talking about present tense, we already introduced the cases that we have to use the present tense, like استعرضنا الحالات اللي لازم يكون بها استخدام المضارع البسيط، واللي هي عادة يكون بها cases when the permanent or daily work habits that we have to use the permanent, like what we say, he plays football every day, so he has the habit to play the football every day, so that's why we have to use the present simple present simple tense. فنستخدم he plays football every day. Okay, so every day means that repeating the word every day. The working is has to be every day, so it's a permanent work, permanent event. That's why we have to use the present tense. Case state number 2, when facts like the sun rises from the east, so every day the sun rises, that is a permanent fact in that case though, so we have to use the simple present tense. Well, sometimes when you use the scheduled events, for example, the plane travels, moves at or lands at 8 o'clock, so that is, there is a schedule, there is a table for the events of the train moves at 3 o'clock. So at that time is something is scheduled. They put that in a table, in a schedule, so every day repeating the work, every day repeating the actions. That's why we have to use the present tense. فإذا هسه احنا عندنا هذا القطار عندما يرحل مثلا أو يتحرك ب8 صباحا أو 8 مساء، هذا موضوع ضمن جدول معين، وهذا الجدول يتعود وكأنما إنه as a permanent، لذلك لازم احنا نستخدم دائما simple present tense. ما ممكن إنه أستخدم الماضي ولا أستخدم المستقبل. بهذه الحالات لازم إنه دائما أستخدم simple present tense. Another usage with adverbs: always, usually, never, sometimes, often, frequently, generally, habitually, occasionally, or once, twice, thrice, and etc. All these adverbs and others that it does reflects the present tense, and it does repeating every time as a permanent, then we have used the simple present tense. Okay, so this is a summarizing for the last lecture. Now we can start the lecture. Okay, is something present and present continuous tense. When we sometimes we have got a confusing when we are able to use the present or when we should use the present continuous. So the present continuous uses first we use the present continuous for things that happening at the moment of speaking. Okay, these things usually last for quite a short time, or they not finished when we talking about them. Like I'm working at the moment, so أنا دا أعمل الآن، لكن هذا العمل استمر لفترة معينة، وقد يكون إنه هو الآن هذه الفترة اللي أنجزها بعد ما استمر بها، وممكن إنه منتي بها قبل لحظات، لكنه إنه بالوقت الحاضر وهذا استمر لفترة معينة. Please call back. We are eating dinner now, so the dinner does take a while for overtime, so that's a while. We have to speak. It hasn't finished yet, so we have to use the present continuous tense. Julie is sleeping. It's not Julie sleeps. No. Sometimes I go say Julie sleeps at 8 o'clock p.m. every day. So this is a habit that every day repeating, doing the same action. That's why we have to use the present, simple present tense. But during the time he is sleeping, so we have to say that Julie is sleeping. Okay. The other case that we have to use here, we can also use this tense for other kinds of temporary situation. So temporary situations, it does take a while, so we have to use at that time the action for present continuous tense. John working in a bar until he finds a job in this field. He might not be working now, but is something temporary, not permanent, that it does take time. That's why I have to use the working. John's working in a bar until he finds a job in his field. Also, I'm reading a really great book. I'm still reading on that book. I haven't finished it yet. So in that case, I have to use the present continuous tense. She is studying with her friend for a week. Is a week and temporary. It does take time. I have to use the present continuous tense. So compare with this present simples, which is used for permanent situation that we feel will continue for a long time. I work in a school. That is a permanent situation, so I have to use I work. This is the simple present. And if it is a permanent temporary situation, هذه فترة مؤقتة، فإذا I'm working in a school. I'm working now for a while for school. We can use the present continuous for temporary or new habits. Sometimes you create some habits, but this is something temporary. You cannot go and use on it, or you just continue on that. It is only for a while or for simple events. Then I have to use the he is eating a lot these days. She's swimming every morning. She didn't used to do that before, but now she has started. So I have to use the simple the present continuous rather than the present simple present. You are smoking too much. Now you are smoking too much. You haven't got that habit before. Okay, so another present continuous use in is for habits that are not regular but that happen very often. In this case, we usually use an adverb like always, forever, constantly. So this is a permanent thing. Often we use the present continuous in this way to talk about an annoying happened. You are forever losing your keys. Okay, that is so. She is constantly missing the train. So when we use always, forever, constantly, in that case I have to use the present continuous thing. Lucy always smiling. Okay, always smiling. So we can use another thing, future uses. The next use is for defined definite, future arrangement with a future time word. In this case, we have already made a plan and we are pretty sure that the event will happen in the future. So in that case, something is happening, we are pretty sure that this happen will also repeating happen in the future. I'm meeting my father tomorrow. So in that case, this is very close future, and that is definitely happening. In that case, and that does it take a while. Then I'm meeting my father tomorrow. We are going to beach the weekend. I'm leaving at 3 o'clock. Okay. Now, the other the forms of the present continuous, as you know, verb to be plus any infinitive with ing. Okay, so we can introduce present continuous uses also. Present, future, we can divide the tenses in the past, present, and future. So use the present continuous with the normal verb to express the idea that something happening now at the very moment. It can also be used to show that something is happening now. You are learning English again on the same thing, on the same idea. You are doing that thing for a while, happening, and it does continue for a while. You are not swimming now. Are you sleeping? I'm sitting. Okay. Used to longer action progress now. You are doing thing and it is in progress and it does continue for a while. So in English now, for example, I'm studying to become a doctor. So you are not a doctor now, but does take the studying a while. Okay, so in that case, I'm studying to become a doctor. I'm not studying to become a dentist. I'm reading the book Tom Sawyer. I'm not reading any book right now. Are you working on any special project at work? Aren't you teaching at the university now? So these case also another case is something happening between the present and the close future, as we said before. I'm meeting some friends after work. I'm not going to the party tonight. Is he visiting his parents next weekend? Isn't he coming with us tonight? Now, in the use repetition and irritation, always happening, and that is a irritating thing. It means that something bothered you and you express that by the present continuous. فإذا she is always coming to class late. Okay, that is a habit and that is always happening in the past, in the present, in the future. But something bothering you, هذا يزعجك. فهذا الإزعاج أو هذا الirritation you do always express it in the present continuous tense. He is constantly talking. I wish he would shut up. I don't like them because they are always complaining. That is the impression you've got. Case also another case is something happening between the present and the close future, as we said before. I'm meeting some friends after work. I'm not going to the party tonight. Is he visiting his parents next weekend? Isn't he coming with us tonight? Now, in the use repetition and irritation, always happening, and that is a irritating thing. It means that something bothered you and you express that by the present continuous. فإذا she is always coming to class late. Okay, that is a habit and that is always happening in the past, in the present, in the future. But something bothering you, هذا يزعجك. فهذا الإزعاج أو هذا الirritation you do always express it in the present continuous tense. He is constantly talking. I wish he would shut up. I don't like them because they are always complaining. That is the impression you've got. Okay. Now, present not she is loving. Sometimes you use verbs with already not taking the continuous, like she is loving the chocolate ice cream. That is very wrong word, or it's not correct. She loves, it should be she loves this chocolate ice cream. That would be the correct form. Okay. Sometimes adverb placements force you to use the present continuous tense. You are still working TV, so does take watching TV does take time, and still you are carrying on doing the same thing, watching the TV. Are you still watching TV? So that is the form of the questions. The active passive, right now Tom is writing the letter, is active. The passive, right now the letter is being written by the Tom. So the passive, something you express it, and that work happened by some people. So like right now Tom, the subject is Tom writing the letter. Now if I'm talking about the letter is being written by Tom. Okay, let's take the practicing by using either present or present continuous tense. For example, in this practicing, we have got the verb between the brackets, so we have to use the forms either in the present or in the present continuous. For example, every morning, when they said every morning, Sally drives her kids to the football practice. So that is a habit, permanent habit. So I have to use the present, simple present tense. Usually I work as secretary at ABT, but this summer I'm studying French at language school in Paris. That is why I am in Paris. Shh! Be quiet. John is sleeping. Don't forget to take your umbrella. It is raining. I hate living in Seattle because it rains. It always raining. It is always raining. I'm sorry. Sometimes we can use that 5, we can use as something bothering you. So in that case you have to use the present continuous. I'm sorry, I can't hear what are you saying, because everybody talks so loudly. Okay, everybody's talking so loudly. Okay, everybody is talking so loudly. Justin is currently writing a book about his adventure in Tibet. I hope he can find a good publisher when he is finished. Jim, do you want to come over for dinner tonight? Dennis, oh, I'm sorry, I can't. I am going to movie tonight with some friends. Okay? So the business card is normally the business card are normally printed by a company in New York. Their prices are inexpensive, yet the quality of their books is quite good. So in that case, we have used the present, simple present tense. This delicious chocolate is made by a small chocolater. Is made by a new chocolater. So